I'll give one big hey to everybody. If any mods show up in the room before we get started with the breakdown of Massa's whipping boy, we need to get him out of there pretty quick. Oh, Sister Victoria, how you doing? Any troll patrols, could you please get them out at any given time? Yes, I know it's late. I'm not gonna be on here too long, but someone sent me an email today that said, "Phil, coon alert," and they sent me this video. So I said, "Listen, why not? I got a little time." Actually, I'm drinking some pretty good chocolate milk today. And if you haven't picked up one of these, make sure you get you one in the Teespring store. See, it's a shameless plug. I'm good, Brother Leon. I'm good. Midnight Lullaby. Okay, appreciate that. Oh yeah, gotta drink chocolate milk. The Horizon chocolate milk, not the Borden one. Yeah, you saw it yesterday. I just saw it today. Somebody emailed it to me, and shout out to them. I can find out their name. Let me see who sent it to me. No, it's the organic one. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get to my email so I can tell you exactly who sent it to me. They didn't put their name. Main Cipherelli, who sent it to me. At least that's on the email. But they had a big old thing say coon alert, so I had to look at that. Like I say, you guys, I give you some time to get in the room, and then we'll start talking about the cooning. I'm laughing at that. That's not the way I do moderators. I do moderators based on who I know and who I've seen for a while, and who interacts as well. That's how I do with moderators. I just don't make people moderate just because. I'd have some sort of control a little bit to who I know who's who. Well, I'm gonna give people a few minutes or so. Well, I'm not on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I can say coon. I can just say it's short for raccoon, right? Miss Sandoval, how you doing? I see her name a lot. It said they send you a link. Well, it's three ways you can do that before we even get started with that. Sister Lenore, you can, in our description box, we always have the links to our PayPal for one-time donations. You just want to do one time. We have Patreon, which is monthly. You can do $2 or $5, and it greatly helps. And people have joined us on Patreon. We really appreciate y'all doing that. It helps us to produce content. It helps us to go out and do other things that we want to do, because everything costs funds, and YouTube don't pay everything. So, we have to do it in a village mentality, coming together to do this. It's so much more that we can do. I definitely would like to bring some more people in, as I stated before, and I can get more stories that way if I bring other people in, but it takes funds to pay them. And last but not least, we have, for those of you who don't like electronic transactions, you can mail it to us. We have the address and everything inside of the description box on every video that we put up. So that's the best way to do it. Like I said, we definitely trying to get our 3,000 patrons. Thank you, Sister Victoria. We definitely trying to get our 3,000 patrons. We haven't got there yet, but we definitely, need to get there. Just so we can, like I say, get some more things done to put out better content for you guys. And like I said before, the more you support, the more I do, because it just frees me to do a whole lot more things. And I think you deserve that. And I want to give you much as I could within limited space and time that I have as one person. And because what we do here, you're not really going to find that too much. At least I'm not listening back up. The way we do it is one way. They got many people do different ways, different channels, and that's fine. But we do it a specific way. We have our goals, we have our targets, and if you're on Patreon, you would know exactly my agenda and what I am doing. And those of you who are on Patreon, you understand why I do what I do and why I have to do it the way I'm doing it, just to give you an explanation. So, greetings from Miami. In Miami, boy, I haven't been out there yet. And the reason why I haven't been out in some of these places yet, what I'm working on is trying to get on do some speaking, tour speaking. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to go towards, like just speaking, doing what I do here. And that way I'm good, right? Well, I'm not looking for Caucasian approval. I'm just only looking for the truth. I'm putting that out there. If I was looking for Caucasian approval, I would be like Massa's whipping boy here. Now, let's talk about Massa's whipping boy. All right? Let's get it. I was shared a video. This young man, and he states his name is Kevin Smith, Kevin James, whatever his name is. We're going to play the video and let you guys hear what he has to say. We'll stop, make commentary. So here we go. Massa's whipping boy.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kevin Martin coming to you live on this beautiful day, beautiful afternoon here in central Pennsylvania. And I just want to talk a little bit about this Philandro Castile shooting that has resurfaced now. And that is back in mainstream media now that the officer that was involved in the shooting has been cleared and has been sent on his way as not guilty. And
okay, if you're about to start cooning, can you at least say the man's name right? That's the only thing I would say. Sister Victoria, Marco A., get him out, please. Thank you.
Manslaughter or murder. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this and why this is so ridiculous but so controversial. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about why I feel the way I do about the situation and why I think it's absolutely stupid and ridiculous that we're even having this conversation. Now, I'm just going to start off by saying this, okay? I, as an African American...
Notice he admits that he is an African American. But I want you to listen to this video as you go down the line.
I've been pulled over before, several times, numerous times, while being armed or unarmed.
Okay, so he said he's been pulled over many times, armed or unarmed. But as you hear the way that he's speaking, Caucasian cops are not going to be threatened by him. Now, when you look at his overall vibe, he gives you the Carlton Banks vibe. And we talked about the Carlton Banks as being a type that Caucasian males are not afraid of. It's the Carlton Banks type or the gay black man. They're not afraid of them as well. Okay, just not. But he is the type they're not going to be afraid of. And what gave it off is his sound like he's country. I don't know what he got going on.
In any demographic of neighborhood, whether it be suburban, inner city, rural, urban, no matter, and I've never had any problems. And most times I was carrying a firearm, okay? And I too let the police officer know that I was carrying a firearm. Well, I've been pulled over, never had a problem while carrying. And the reason why is because I made the choice that I'm going to respect their authority and to respect their orders, no matter how I felt about the situation, okay? No matter how I felt about the situation. You know, police officers have one main goal, and that's to make it home to their family at the end of shift.
Okay, why did you feel some sort of way about the situation? I mean, I thought that, hey, you just complying and following orders. You knew some of the situations were BS, but you cooning. And then you saying about, and they always, these coons like to say, and even those who support them, they just want to make it home to their families. Newsflash, every last one of us want to make it home to our families. Any of us that walk outside the door of our home, getting our car, go to work, the grocery store, wherever, we want to come back home to our families. Why are their families more important than anybody else's? Just a question.
You know, if the rest of America, which is black America in part.
He said the rest of America and black America, either going to be the rest of America or it's going to be black America. It's not going to be both. Ah, boy, I'm already aggravated.
Had the same agenda, and that is to make it home.
We do have the same agenda to make it home. Everybody in the comment section, do you have an agenda not to make it home to your family when you go to work? Or when you go to the grocery store or to your kids' practices or picking up your kids from school, do you have that goal to get home to your family at the end of the day? I'm just curious because I think everybody in the whole world has the agenda to come home to their family when they leave the house. That's stupid, man.
Instead of trying to make a point, trying to make a video for social media, trying to race bait these police officers, if they had the same agenda as police officers, and that is to make it home to their loved ones at the end of the day or at the end of shift, this world would be so much different.
Oh boy, did you hear this idiot? He said that trying to make videos, trying to race bait. Oh, you race baiters. Notice that anybody that has a problem with you speaking up against racism, you are a race baiter. They don't say you're wrong in what you're saying. They don't refute what you're saying. They just want you to shut the hell up. And what I feel sad for, this is a young man, and this young man is gone already. Who raised him? That's what I want to know. Because like the old people say, whoever raised him, we need to beat them with a wet rope. We really do. For raising that boy like that. That boy is a sin and a shame. He has no clue and no idea of how to be a man for one and a black man number two. Because it's not being a man, cowering yourself down at the feet of another man. That's not a man. What you see in this video from Massa's whipping boy is just sad. It's extremely sad.
And it's true. This world would be so much different.
It won't be different behind a video. The reason why people start picking up cell phones to record the police officers, because that was one kind of weapon the people had to expose what they were doing, because they would beat people up and lie and say, they tried to take my gun, shoot people and lie and say, I thought he had a gun. So people start recording when cops beating people up and kicking people and planting evidence and doing all this stuff. And that was one way to keep an eye on what these so-called public servants were doing. It wasn't just for likes or want to be famous on Facebook or YouTube. It was to save lives of the general public, and it has saved a lot of lives. It has caused cops to get fired. It has brought some sort of equal playing field. And the dirty cops that don't like it, the race soldiers that don't like it, they'll be the first ones that's trying to hope to get some sort of legislation against people recording them.
The idiotic thing is I see about with this video is that it's completely justified because, first of all, Philandro Castro had a very a big problem with authority.
Okay, let's stop right there. He go there, Philandro Castro. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. How did he have a problem with authority? The police officer asked him for his license and registration. He gave it to him. Then he said, I have a firearm. Most people that's trying to harm a cop is not going to tell him, hey, police officer, I got a gun. They're not going to tell him that. They're going to hide the fact, the element of surprise. This guy's an idiot, man. And y'all letting this guy just run around America See, this is the thing. We talk about race soldiers and all that other stuff, but the enemy within our community is even worse. That boy could go to any meeting. That boy can go to any where we at trying to figure out what we're going to do. Sit down in there, listen, and go run back to Massa and tell him everything. Same thing happened to Nat Turner when he was trying to do what he had to do. Every time that we have a movement going on or we trying to fight for our liberation, you have Massa's whipping boy or Massa's whipping girl going in there doing that. These people like this is dangerous. They're dangerous. Just like the Haitians did it and all these other groups that has done it in the past. They want to fight something. The first people they got rid of was them before they even went after the powers that be. Exactly. Talking about, the little kid Nat Turner. That's him right there. That's him.
It's the number one thing. He had a big problem with authority. He didn't like to listen to anybody.
How do we know? How do you know that? How? From even the dash cam video, how do you know that? Nobody came out saying that, Philando Castile was always doing this. Everybody said the opposite. He was always at the school doing his job, never had problems out of him. Where do you get that from?
Second of all, he was breaking the law and driving without brake lights, okay?
That's not breaking the law. That's a traffic violation, you idiot. That's a ticket, not a death sentence.
So he's breaking the law and he has a problem with authority. The police officer was very, very, very respectful when he got pulled over. He said, all right, I'm just letting you know I got a firearm on me.
How is that not respecting authority when you tell them you got a firearm on you? That's respecting the authority. The authority says if you hold a concealed carry, you must inform the officer that you have the gun and you have to give them your CCW license. He was doing that. So that's respecting the law and respecting authority.
First of all, the police officer said, license, insurance, and registration, right? License, insurance, and registration. He gave him a little bit of a headache about that, right?
No, he did.
Right? So the cop got a little nervous, okay?
Why would you get nervous about, let's say if that's true, which is not, we saw the video. Why would he get nervous behind that? That's just a request.
And he said, license, insurance, registration. He said, I'm just letting you know I got a firearm on me. What did the cop say? The cop said, don't reach for it. Don't reach for it. Don't reach for it. Don't. Boom, 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 boom. And that was it. So obviously, the police officer told him, don't reach for it. But he decided to do it anyway because he was trying to make a point to the cop.
No, he was not trying to make a point to the cop. They counted about 5 seconds from the time he told him don't reach for it to the time he shot him. 5 seconds. The cop, Yanez, was an idiot. The moment this man told you, I have a firearm, the next question should be, where is the gun? Where is it located? Is it on you? Is it in your glove box? Is it in the middle? Where's the gun? And if Yanez would have found out where the gun was at and let him show him the gun is here, there, wherever. And even if they say he had the gun on him, okay, fine. If he's so scared, say, look, Philando Castile, put your hands outside the car for me. Get out of the car with your hands up and just do that for me just for safety. I'm going to pat you down, take the gun, and then you can put your hands down, right? I guarantee you Philando Castile would be alive right now if he would did that, if the gun was on him. Or if the gun was somewhere in the car and he told him where it was at. If he's told him, like, hey, just step outside for me just a little bit. Let's just talk about it, the brake light, whatever. And that'd have been on his way. But no, this cop that was extremely nervous, scared of black men, and just quick to shoot. If you remember in the dash cam video, his partner was on the other side. He didn't even take consideration of his partner's life either. He just started shooting into the car. I even know, originally we didn't know that it was another police officer there. So if you had 2 police officers there, why did he so quick to shoot? You had another cop there with you. It was like stupid.
Andrew Castro was pissed off because of the traffic stop. I'm sure his girl was egging him on as well.
We heard the video. She wasn't egging him on.
And now you see what happens. The character in which a man portrays is that by which he will be judged, okay? You carry yourself like a gangster, like a non-contributing member of society. You carry yourself as like a menace to society, and you are going to be treated as the character in which you portray.
Lies, lies, lies. Because Philando Castile didn't portray any character because the cop profiled him saying he looked like somebody that committed a crime. And first and foremost, that's a racial profile. Number two, it's not about the character of a person. I wish it was about the character of a person and not a person's skin, but it's about your skin, unfortunately, in this country. If it was about character, it's about actions. We know the majority of mass shooters are Caucasian males. Then why isn't the majority of Americans afraid of Caucasian males due to mass shootings? Just for an example, right? Statistics back that up. So we're not going to base that off of actions or who we should be afraid of what. It's all about the propaganda in America against the black man and black woman of this nation and throughout the world. But we'll continue.
Okay? It comes down to the character in which you portray. This shooting, along with thousands of other ones, have nothing to do with race.
All the shootings has nothing to do with race. Well, why the media always bring it up? Why is it that we always see the majority of Caucasian males involved with these shootings? Why is it that more unarmed black people are shot and killed than unarmed Caucasian people? Why is that? Well, I mean, the bullets just don't hit Caucasian people or something? I'm just curious. Why does the statistics say that they're more prone to violence against black people than Caucasians? Why? Even though if you look at the numbers with crime, we are the ones that are committing the most crime in the United States of America. Even the Caucasian supremacists that try to throw out that murder statistic, notice they don't throw out the whole thing. Oh, well, you blacks commit 40 or 50% of the murders or 51% of the murders. They never say, and we also commit 46 or 47% of the murders. They never say that. They say, oh, well, black on black crime. They never talk about Caucasian on Caucasian crime, with 84% of Caucasians that died at the hands of other Caucasians. They never talk about that. They never talk about that whole list of FBI crimes statistics. They never say at the bottom that Caucasians commit 70% of the crimes. They never say that. According to the FBI, it's not me making it up. But they don't quote that. They very deceptive on what they quote. Oh, 52% of the murders, whatever about robbery. That's the only thing they talk about. They don't talk about, well, we commit 68% of the rapes. You never say that. And you don't go through all the DUI crimes and all things that they do. They never do that. You got to pay attention of what they do. Then they quote percentages and not raw numbers either. This stuff they like to do. They throw out their per capitas and all these other things they like to do, because you have to remember, when they throwing this stuff out at you, remember, if you wouldn't trust the devil himself to give you accurate information, don't trust when they're giving it to you. Always remember that, because anytime you lie, you speak with the voice of Satan himself. And we have known these people to lie on top of lie just to go along with their propaganda against black people. But we'll continue with this Massa's whipping, boy.
It has nothing to do with police officer shooting and killing a black man or unarmed black man. It has everything to do with, for some reason, black men blaming everyone for their problems, feeling that they don't have to listen to anybody, which the problem with that is because 96% of African American kids don't have a father.
Well, if 96% of African American kids didn't have a father, how did they get here? Last time I checked, women aren't asexual. Black women are asexual. They can't create babies on their own within themselves. So where did you get that from? 96% of black children is without a father. I'm just going to just listen off of what he say. I know what he's trying to say, but I'm saying it doesn't make sense of what you're saying. But we're going to talk about that father thing too.
They never listened to their mom.
How do you know? How do you know? You talking stupid.
And all over their mother, okay? So they never had a father figure. So when a police
How do you know they haven't had a father figure?
officer,
And notice he says they. He says they. He keep using they. Master's whipping boy, you're black. You're not one of them. I don't care if you sound like you come from the sticks of Mississippi. You're black. Stop saying they. It's you too.
and encounters a black man or, you know, a young African American man, 9 times out of 10, that man did not grow up with a father. And
How do you know? And when a cop approaches a person, do you think he really care if they had a father in their life at that time period? I don't think they even think about that. Does it matter at that time? No, it don't. Where do you get these numbers from? Because I have not read them at all. And you want to talk about black fathers, I saw the CDC statistic numbers when it talks about fatherhood, and black men are actually in their children's lives more than any other group. They're in the home more with them. They read to them. They bathe them. They play with them, even when they're separated. Because let's talk about that single parent thing too. Do you know what single means? Do you know what married means? Let's break that down, because we about to destroy our propaganda right now. When they tell you 72% of African American children are born in single parent households. If you aren't married, you're single. Doesn't mean your boyfriend isn't there. I've known people who've been together 20 and 30 years, never been married, been together all the time, and they had children. And legally, the children will be considered growing up in a single parent home because the mother isn't married to the father. Doesn't mean the father is not there. So when you hear them say single parent household, doesn't mean the man isn't there. Doesn't mean the man don't live there. They just not married. And a lot of people not getting married in this day and time. 48% of the people in this country is not even married right now. And then no, I think it's a little higher than that. I thought it was 60. No. I thought it was 62%. But all in all, it's a high number. That's what I'm trying to say. And that number's going to keep increasing because the laws that the Caucasian Republicans set in place hurts the family. And a lot of men in general, not just black men, realize that they don't have to get married anymore because it's going to be harmful to them financially. It can put them in jail in a lot of instances. So why would you want to get married? And also in this time period, it's one of those things, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? That's how low the morality is in this country. A man don't have to get married no more. And it's going to keep increasing that way as well. A lot of women not getting married. They focusing on career. They having kids like much later in life. So what are you talking about the single thing? That's stupid.
9 times out of 10, that police officer is literally the only authority figure that has ever held that young man accountable.
Okay, so if we go off of you saying they didn't have fathers around, is a mother an authority figure? Guys in the comment section, is a mother an authority figure? Last time I checked, they were. Maybe teachers at preschool or kindergarten, are they authority figures? Last time I checked, they were. A lot of schools got principals, assistant principals. Are they authority figures? Other family members, are they authority figures? I mean, it's stupid what he's saying. You mean to tell me a child in the black community gonna go all their life with no authority until they end up meeting a Caucasian cop on the road? You acting like our children grow up like some wildebeest or something, and then they all of a sudden one day they encounter a cop. You are an ignorant young man, and you gonna hear him say he in college later, but they ain't teach you nothing in that college.
And you know, as well as I do, we've all grown up, we've been spanked, we've been chastised, but that's the way we grew up because we had fathers and we had people that cared about us, that loved us, that gave us punishments, that punished us out of love for us and out of love for our well-being and our future. But a lot of young black men have no fathers. They never grew up with any fathers.
How do you know? And it's another thing. Since you want to compare by fathers, and fathers is a link to committing crime and doing wrong, a lot of Caucasian males and females had a father in the household. Why is it that they're committing crimes? If you're linking fathers not being in the household to a higher propensity of crime, then why is it Caucasians commit crime? You have Caucasians that are on crystal meth and heroin and fentanyl and all this other stuff and had their father in their household, but yet they're using drugs and selling drugs, but they had a father. They're out there harming cops and killing cops, and they had a father. They're committing mass shootings, and they had a father. What are you talking about? So obviously, it's not about a father being in a household that shows you about crime. Now, a proper father in the household that can control his children, yes, it lessens the things that the children are going to do. But don't just use that they don't have a father in the household, that's why they're doing what they're doing, because I know a lot of sisters that have raised children. Some of the fathers are dead. Have you ever thought about that? That's why some people don't have a father. You think every guy out there just making kids? I know a lot of black men who don't have a kid to save their life. It's actually only a few guys out there that's making all these kids. It's not a bunch of brothers out here doing that, because brothers are smart enough to know I'm not getting caught up on child support. That's the last thing I want to get caught up on. So I'm going to make sure to take care of myself. A child's father may got in trouble at one point in time in his life, and he could be incarcerated. It doesn't mean the father don't talk to them. It doesn't mean the father don't write to them. And how do you know when the man get out what kind of father he's going to be? You don't know crap, but you talking like you know black people. You ain't lived long enough, little boy. You got peach fuzz still behind your ears. Come on.
Never grow up with any role model. So the time when people say, why are black men so angry? Why are they have such a big problem with authority? Because they never had one. They never had authority figure. That's why young black men aren't graduating from high school. They're not graduating from college. They're getting locked up. They're having problems within the criminal justice system.
All right there. Let's stop. The reason why a lot of us don't respect authority, because authority don't respect us, nor do it treat us equally. That's why you don't have a respect for it. If you saw, and trust me, most of you have seen this. It starts off in school. That's your first encounter of bias and discrimination. It's in elementary school. You could see it in preschool, when you notice that the Caucasian children get away with certain things, but the little black children don't get away with it. And if you're a smart little child and hip at an early age, you're going to say, wait a minute, I notice when they do it, they don't get fussed at or in trouble, but I get in trouble, or we get in trouble, right? And as you grow up through life, noticing that difference, it can make you angry and upset, because nobody, I don't care who you are, like being treated different. That's just a normal reaction. You're not going to respect someone that treats you different than someone else, period. And they have shown inherent bias. They have so many studies about inherent bias with Caucasians in the area of policing. The American Psychological Association came out with a report in 2014 that stated that Caucasian male cops look at black male children by the age of 10 as older and stronger than their white counterparts, and they are more aggressive and violent toward them. And I showed that on this channel many times before. It's a lot of studies out there. So when black people have this attitude about F12, it's because the way they have been treated and handled. Look at the crack epidemic. They handled black people. They didn't look at, oh, poor black people, you're on crack, we need to let you go to the jail and cool off and detox, like they're doing for Caucasians. They ain't doing that. They ran in there with battering rams and dogs and military vehicles and locked up a whole generation of black people. So why black people going to respect them? They don't show respect to us. Now, when they go to handle Caucasians, they respect them. They give them more chances. Not to say they don't abuse them either. Not to say they haven't shot them. Not to say they haven't beat them up either. I'm not saying that, because I've seen plenty of videos of them beating Caucasians up too and shooting Caucasians and doing them dirty. I'm not saying they don't. I want to make sure you get proper balance, because I've seen the videos. But what I'm saying is they will let a Caucasian guy get away with a lot more than me. I'm going to say that much.
Because they never had a role model. They never had a role model. And I think it's absolutely important for people to realize the character in which a man portrays is that by which he will be judged. I don't have problems with police officers. I don't have problem with Secret Service. I don't have problem with security guards. I don't have problem with my college campus security. I don't have problems with my college professors. I don't have problems with, my school resource officers. I don't have problems. And I don't get treated as I'm a menace to society. I don't get treated as I'm a threat because I don't portray that type of character.
You're right. You don't. That's what we all agree with. You sound like you from Hee-Haw, Alabama, the way you speak. You come across as Carlton Banks. So you're right. You're not a threat. It's an honor to be a threat because that means that you are a strong black man and you're not.
I portray a character of a man that is humble, that is respectable, that even though I might not agree with the situation, I'm still going to respect you and I'm going to respect your authority. The character in which a man portrays is that by which he will be judged.
You notice he keeps repeating that over and over and over and over and over. You notice that? Over and over and over. Everything he just said was translation, I'm docile, but they're going to treat me by my character. He said that so many times. You don't believe that. That's why you keep saying it over and over and over, dude. Come on, man. And why you holding them feelings in? I may not agree with it. What did you not agree with it? Share with the audience what you didn't agree with. I mean, we would like to know. We want to be educated, right? I mean, that's it.
And just to say, once again, that I, as an African-American, I've been pulled over numerous times by the police, anywhere from multi-million-dollar neighborhoods to poverty-stricken slums to redneck hillbilly country roads. Most times while being armed, okay? Sometimes while being most times while being armed, sometimes with even more than one gun. And I've never had a problem. Nothing has ever gone violent, okay? Why?
It ain't gone violent yet. When you meet a real race soldier that look at you as a threat, and let me tell you something else, Massa's whipping boy. You think you're going to be good over there with Massa and his crew, but Richard Spencer and the alt-right and all these Caucasian nationalists, they don't have room for you. I'm going to tell you why. Because they're going to look at you as, yes, you are against your own, but they don't trust you because you're against your own. Years ago, I spoke to a Caucasian nationalist, and I asked him on the show, I said, what do you think of black people that turn against black people for you? And his exact words was, we will use those black people, but we don't trust them because how can they turn against their own like that? And when that Caucasian nationalist told me that, I said, okay, that's all I needed to know. See, the difference with me, I could talk to a Caucasian nationalist. I could talk to a Richard Spencer. I could talk to the Grand Wizard of the Klan. Doesn't bother me none. I could have a great conversation with them. You know why? Because I understand where they are, understand where they're coming from, and I get it. People like him don't. See, this is the deal. Their numbers aren't growing. It's declining, okay? They just had a census report come out, and every other group in the nation has grown except their group. They know this information. This is why they're getting more and more violent. Instead of figuring out what the issues are, they rather be violent toward other people. People like him, they would view him as one that would go be with a Caucasian female. And that will be the problem with a alt-right Caucasian nationalist person. They'll use him to the moment they ever catch him with Becky, because it was no different with a guy like myself or him. They don't want to see all that, because if he have a kid with Becky, that's it. That family line is done. They're going to look at her as a waste. They're going to call her a mud shark, and that's it. So that's going to be their problem with him. Their numbers are dwindling. They ain't got time to be allowing Massa's whipping boy to be laying up with white women. I'm just trying to tell him.
Because I made one choice and one choice only, and that was to respect their authority no matter how I felt about the situation. I would rather leave humble with a handshake than leave lifeless in a body bag. Okay? I'd rather be scorned by 6 than carried by 12. If the police officers have one main goal, and that's to make it home to their loved ones at the end of the day or at the end of shift. If the rest of America, Black America in part, had the same agenda, and that is to make it home to their loved ones at the end of shift, to make it
Okay, we covered all that. He's repeating himself.
home to their family at the end of shift, instead of race baiting, instead of taunting these police officers.
Who's taunting a police officer? I don't know no black person in my life that go up to police and taunt them. I've never seen it. I've seen Caucasians do it, but we know better. We know better. We don't go up there and mess with no police. Why? You want to get the hell beat out of you? You want to get shot? You want to get tased? And they'll have every right to at that point because they say, hey, he was harassing me. He assaulted me. He did this to me. Like, who's taunting police officers? I don't know. No, I've seen the hardest thugs in the hood won't taunt a police officer. Swole up, 6'6". Man, you can't touch dude how big he is. But police officer come, I don't see him bucking at a cop. He be the main one running. So where you get that from? Come on, man. This is common.
Trying to get something on social media, if they had the same agenda that these police officers do, and that is to make it home to their loved ones, make it home to their loved ones at the end of shift or at the end of the day, this world would be so much different. Take care. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the administration in Washington and their efforts in reaching the communities and underserved communities. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care. God bless.
Well, look at the coon smile. You seen that big old coon smile? Isn't that great? That is so great. Well, what do y'all think about that? That for me was just, oh boy. Boy. Well, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Now, we got a bonus, right? There's a bonus. You ready for the bonus? Ask me who he took a picture with, if you guys know. Because I'm gonna show y'all a picture. This gonna cap it off. Let me show you something. There he is. Now you know he with the Wicked Witch of the West. Boy. Look at that big smile on his face. Boy, he's showing all them teeth, boy. Look at all them teeth he's showing. He happy with that white woman, ain't he? You can't. Oh boy. He boy, I mean, he out there smiling big, boy. He probably got a permanent look on his face. He got it with Tommy Lauren up there. He say making the butter biscuits. That's what he's smiling about. He probably giving her them butter biscuits. Well, I'm looking at that smile, boy. You can't get that smile away from him, boy. He's showing all 80 of them teeth, ain't he? He's showing all them teeth. Jesus Christ. This is funny. That's funny. You said he's a wonder coon. Boy, I don't know what's wrong with this dude, man. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. Oh man. He said we should not laugh at the afflicted. Yeah, we are gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh all day long. They laugh at me. I'm gonna laugh at them. He said he's smiling. Was as wide as hell like a watermelon rind. Wow, y'all going in on boy with this picture. Yeah, he is though. He's showing all them teeth, greasy forehead and all. Boy, I tell you, I guess I ain't mad at it. I'm looking at the background of that picture. I don't see a black person in the room. At least not in the back. I don't see him. Let me see. I see. Yeah, there. I don't see nobody else black. Just him. Boy, I tell you. I don't know who his family is, but they, like I said earlier, Oh man, they need to be beat with a red rope for that. Yeah, he looked like Carlton. That's for sure. That's for sure. Jesus Christ, that young man need help. He's definitely in the sunken place. I think he's deep in the sunken place at this point. How that young man came across. What y'all gonna do with him, ladies and gentlemen? What y'all gonna do with him? You know, it's Sunday evening. You know, like I said, and you sending me a coon alert like that. I had to talk about it. Like I said, I had the time to get involved with a coon alert. Boy, you say Jesse Lee Peterson family, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh no, he couldn't be my son. Hell no. My son knowing his history already. My son is already getting into it with history teachers. My son not going through school not knowing nothing. Please, I'm teaching my son the knowledge now, and he's 12. My son know his history. We discuss history all the time, and he speak it right back to me. I'm not raising no son like that. That'll be a stain on me. He's raised like that because whoever raised him got him like that. Man, no, the sister warrior, no. We need to get people like him and many others away from us. They are Benedict Arnolds. We can't deal with that. They're going to run back and tell everything. That's why we can't have nothing. Other groups don't tolerate that. And the other groups, they play the game very well. Like, I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of research into the Asian community here in America and what moves they're making, because everything I look at into them, they doing the best in this nation out of all people. They do better than white folks. And due to that, it's like I foresee a time where the Caucasians are going to go after them heavy too, because they're going to see that they're doing better than them in their own system, which they are. I mean, they're not affected by politics. They're not affected by the economy, nothing. They are just doing great. They have the lowest divorce rate, lowest poverty, lowest on government assistance. They have the highest income. Even their women make more than any other woman in this country. So that's why I've been looking into them and what they're doing versus what everybody else is doing, because their women is making 90 cents to every white man's dollar. And Asian men make more money per hour than white men. So I definitely had to be looking into that. Well, okay. Even if he was adopted by a Caucasian family, at the end of the day, I don't care. He up here getting himself involved with talking about black people, and he put the video out publicly. It's not nothing nobody covertly took from him or nothing like that. We just critiquing it, and we need to critique these people if they're going to put it out publicly, because that's dangerous what he did in that video. Even though he don't realize that he's been stopped many times. He didn't agree with it, but he didn't want to say anything because he's a docile Carlton Banks from Hee Haw, Alabama sounding black dude. That's probably trying to just say, you saw them teeth with Tommy Lauren. That's what he want. He wants somebody like Tommy Lauren in his life, and he'd be happy with that. Saying racism don't exist. Cause look, I got a Tommy Lauren. That sort of dude. Which like I say, them all right members ain't gonna put up with that. The ones that Richard Spence out there with torches and Confederate flag, they're not putting up with that. Him being with a Caucasian female that look like Tommy Lauren, that's their dream. That's why she a bottle blonde. I mean, she got naturally black hair. You can see that when she let her little roots grow out. She know how them Caucasian men are about that blonde hair. That's why she coloring her hair so much. Well, even if he is deal with a racist family, let's say if he deal with that with a girl, because some of you saying that, he'd be like, oh, well, they just feel that way about black men. And I understand why they feel that way about black men. And then they meet him, see him, then they'll be say, most black men is just, oh God, they're criminals. But you're different. I wish more black men were like you. That's what they would say to him. And he'd be out cheesing. That's a great compliment, sir. That type. Yeah, you could, even though I really don't like darkies with my kids, but I what school you went to? You making good money? Okay, well, I'll sacrifice this one for the team. You can have this one. You got them that'll do that. They'll take one for the team. Even though they could be a Caucasian supremacist. They will let some of you in their family as long as they know you totally sold out. You good. Because then when somebody call them out, they say, oh, wait a minute. My son-in-law, he black. I'm not racist. I got half black grandkids. What are you talking about? I'm not racist. How dare you say that to me? If I was racist, do you think I would let him in my family? No, I would not. Even though that idiot would be sitting there listening to all the black jokes, laughing about it, and joining in on it. That's that kind of dude that would, like you say, I have a black friend or whoever, that's him. If he ever slip up one time and say, I heard that Minister Farrakhan, he was saying this. If you ever mention something like that, I'm like, what? No, he got to stay on cooning 24/7. But all jokes aside, I hate to see that. I like to joke about that, and I think they're extremely dangerous. But he's a young man, and I can have just a little patience with him because he's young. And maybe some event that happened in his life, well, maybe he'll turn around and he can reform himself. I don't have patience for people that are my age or older, because you should know already. Life should have taught you something already, and you still doing that mess just to go along and get along and not standing up for the right thing. Then there's nothing else I can tell you about that at that point. But yeah, he is a coon train conductor. I do agree with that. I do agree he's a super coon. I agree with all that. So another person say a loony coon. They're using all these terms. Okay. Well, you talking about the Asian women. Asian people play the game very well. I've studied that about them. Some people say, oh, they agree with Caucasian supremacy. Yeah, they play the game. They play the game very well. They go along with them, and they getting bread all at the same time. So that's a totally different conversation. Talking about them. He said, get him for an interview. I don't know what his name is. I don't. But if he want to come on, I'd love to have him. I wouldn't treat him bad. I've never treated any of my guests bad. I would let him talk. I'll give him the utmost respect. That goes for anybody. Like I said, Richard Spencer can come on my show. I would give him the utmost respect. I would actually like to talk with Richard Spencer, to be honest with you. I'm gonna see if I can make that happen. I'm gonna talk to my guys, see if we can get Richard Spencer to come on. I think that'll be a good conversation. Richard Spencer. I don't know about that kid. I don't know. David Clark. That's funny. Well, let me see if I can pull that up. I want to do a separate video to that, but let me pull it up right now. Where is it? I know I had it up here somewhere. Okay. Now I'm looking at this, and they had the article come out on June 22nd. Let me see if I could show y'all this article real quick. I'll put it up so you guys can see it. I guess we'll follow it since you guys are concerned. You don't want to talk about that. Just let's see if I can do that. Let's see here. Oh, you would. All right. So, this was an article that was also put out by the Associated Press. They just kind of forwarded to their site as well. And they talk about the census. Every ethnic and racial group grew, but Caucasian slowed. And you see all this uptick of violence happening. And we not understanding where it comes from, why the violence, why the uptick in ICE deportations, why the insane attacks on people of Islamic faith, why? Well, now this is the reason why. So it came out of Washington, according to the Associated Press. They said the United States is getting older and more ethnic diverse. So that trend could be strains on government programs from Medicare to education to the Census Bureau and everything like they reported Thursday. Well, let's go further down. It said every ethnic and racial group grew between 2015 and 2016, but the number of Caucasians increased at the slowest rate, less than 0.01% or 5,000 people within a year, just 5,000 people. The census estimates. That's a fraction of the rate of growth of non-white Hispanics, Asians, and people who said they are multiracial, according to the government's annual estimates of population. Now, they said, talking about Donald Trump being divisive, we all know that and why. But let's go down to, they talking about the aging. Let's get down here, right? Because some people are asking this question about what happened, and they break it down just a little bit further. Let's get down here. Booming young people. It's not what I'm looking for. Okay. Face of a nation. All race and ethnic groups grew in a year before July 1, 2016, Census reported. The Asian population and those who identified as being two or more races grew by 3% each to 21 million and 8.5 million. Now, at one point in time, the Asian community was about 17 million people. They're up to 21 million people, and they're saying people that claim to be biracial, 8.5 million. Now, Hispanics grew 2% to 57.5 million. The black population grew by 1.2% to nearly 47 million. The number of non-Hispanic whites grew by only 5,000, leaving that population relatively steady at 198 million of the nation's 325 million. Now, that 198 million, I'm going to tell you who's counted in that. Hispanics will be counted inside that 198 million. Now, you may say, why? Hispanics is considered an ethnicity, not a race. Most of your government forms, hospital, everything that you see, when a person put Hispanic and nothing else with race, they check white. That's what they normally do. That inflates the Caucasian numbers. Arabs don't have a place to put down on the census. They will check them off as white as well. So when you're having people in this country being checked off as white, they're not actually Caucasian. then that will affect the numbers as well. So the Caucasian supremacist terrorists, they knew about this already before we got wind of it. They knew about Asians. That's why when I saw this, I said, okay, they're going to start targeting Asians now because Asians are already doing better than them and they growing more than them. They say Asians grew more than anybody else, along with biracials. And then right after them is Hispanics, then blacks. All the stuff they do to us, and we still growing. So that says, something. Now, they attribute it to a lot of things why they don't grow or they haven't been growing. I've been doing a lot of research into that because it's my job to research things like that. They title that to alcohol abuse, heavy opioid use, suicides, just feeling in despair because you have the working class Caucasians feel left out, feel they don't have no help in life. All the manufacturing jobs that went to Taiwan, Vietnam, Mexico, and all these different countries. That's where their manufacturing jobs have gone. They always depended on those manufacturing jobs that graduate high school, work in a factory 30 and 40 years, retire, live their life out till they pass away. They don't have that safety net anymore. So they feel in despair. They're losing all kind of jobs constantly. They're used to their jobs being there. So the story of the 2016 campaign and what Donald Trump tapped into was the forgotten Caucasian working class person. They have never been in a position like they're in today, where now they have to compete everywhere. I was listening to one of them today from a video from 2012 saying what caused a lot of the problems. And one of the things that they cited that caused problems in their community is Caucasian women went in the workforce, because they said that Caucasian men always had jobs. Okay. But when Caucasian women got out of the houses and went into the workforce, they started taking jobs away from Caucasian males. Then you insert black people. But then at one point in time, black women wasn't in the workforce like they are now either, other than cleaning houses and stuff like that. So it was mostly white men and black men working. So now you have all these different groups of women in there. Bring in immigrants, bring in all these different people from different countries. Now it's a strict competition field, and the Caucasians that have education and better jobs are doing well. The Caucasians that are working class and the forgotten and the ones who's angry and want to vote for Trump are the ones who's on the crystal meth and heroin, the ones that's drinking the alcohol, the ones that's committing the suicides, the ones that's joining alt-right groups and David Duke and all them other ones that they joining, right? It's because basically they have been put into a position of a N-word and they don't like it. Because the black people, we never had it where we can just look up and get a job and we make sure it's there. Our lives are always uncertain, but yet you can compare it to the African-American community. We have the same problems, or even times 10 actually. And we're not heavy on drugs. We're not drinking all the alcohol. We're not killing ourselves. We're not doing mass shootings. We're not doing any of that because we lost everything. So basically what's happening is their privilege is leaving them, but yet they're blaming the wrong people. They're blaming blacks. They're blaming immigrants. They're blaming Muslims. Instead of saying Caucasians is the one that made me lose my job, because Caucasians is the one that shipped your job to Asia and all these different countries, continents, right? But then they get into this, well, it's the left, it's the right. No, it's your group. It's not left or right. It doesn't matter. A Caucasian person sent your manufacturing jobs overseas, and instead of you going to where the problem lies, you want to come to us that we didn't even bother you like that. I didn't send your jobs to Mexico. I didn't send your jobs to Taiwan. I didn't do it. Your own did it. You talking about coal jobs? That's not coming back. No matter what Trump say, it's not coming back. Trump can bring back manufacturing jobs. Guess what? Automation will not allow a lot of jobs to even be in there. They got machines to do those jobs. They're not coming back. So really that's what they contributing. Also, they said that the culture has changed. The religion has changed. So you're having a lot of culture shock with Caucasian people. And they can't take it. That's really what a lot of it is. Then Trump and the Republicans about to harm him even more. That's why I hope his health care bill pass. Now you may say, well, why? A lot of people gonna lose their health care. No, it needs to happen. Let Trump and the Republicans pass that bill and let all of them lose their health care and let them see that when you hurt yourself to harm others, that's what you get. I don't know why they think a billionaire cares about them. That amazes me. I would never look to a billionaire to solve my problems. I'd rather send somebody up there that's actually a working class person or no paycheck to paycheck living than sending a guy like that who would never be around you. That's like dumb. Donald Trump would never go into the sticks of Kentucky and be around them, except to do a rally possibly. But he don't eat around you. He be in Manhattan at the high expensive restaurants, Trump Tower, all the stuff that he was doing. Like, why? I never understood. What's the same thing with Hillary? We didn't like Hillary either. So don't think. I know they say, oh, you want to pick Hillary? I didn't say they didn't pick her either, because she was about what and what. But she wouldn't took your health care away. I'll give her that much. She wouldn't have took your health care away. Maybe we probably be in another war or something, because Hillary was a warmonger, but she wouldn't have took your health care away. So I hope Trump and the Republicans do it, take the health care away, and then you will see they'll probably set the stage for somebody else to run for president. I'm pretty sure they will. That's fine. I don't care. They can vote for the GOP. They can do. I hope they do it, because they harming their own people. More Caucasians are on the system. If Trump cut the system, guess what? He hurts his own. It's not gonna hurt black people. We'll be fine. Listen, some of us will be hurting if he cut welfare. Okay, some of us will be, but you know what? They'll be all right, because at the end of the day, we have never had a silver spoon in our mouth as black people. We know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. We know. And in a way, I kind of hope he cut it, because our community was better when we didn't have that. We was forced to do for ourselves, stick together, take care of our families. We was forced to do that. So I'm good. Whatever they want to do. I just want to see us do better. That's it. That's all I want to see. But guys, like I said, I just wanted to chime in with you guys tonight. Share that video. Share the video with y'all, and appreciate you guys taking the time out this Sunday evening to spend with me. If you're not on Patreon, help us get to our 3,000 members that we need to get to on Patreon, because there's a lot of things that we need to do. And due to some of that support, I have a video interview that I'm gonna have to put out, and part of the funds help me do the things that we're doing with that situation. And there's many more people that we're going to interview outside of the studio, and I just enjoy doing that. Also, if you live in the area, go to thebig3.com, Ice Cube's basketball league's website. Find out if there's a game in your area. I looked at it today. They got a lot of good brothers playing in this league. Support the Big Three. Ice Cube's basketball league is coming to your area. Actually, they fixed it with kids 13 and under get in for free, so you can buy tickets and go. They got one coming to Dallas, not Houston. So I was trying to see if I can make that game, because I just want to go support. That's my thing, just support. We always talk about we need a black person to start a league. Ice Cube has started a 3-on-3 league. We need to go support that. He got all these NBA players in there. I mean, I was watching the videos. They look good playing in that. You know what I'm saying? And I like the way he fixed the teams, the names and all this other stuff is real catchy. So support, Ice Cube's Big Three League. That's what we need to do. This is an opportunity for us to have a league that we started, and they have a lot of great people, like I said, over there. Because I'm sick of the NBA, I'm sick of the NFL and all the stuff they pull. They treat black men like crap. They can't own anything. They can't even own a team. So no, I mean, like you said, we always complaining that we need to create our own. Well, let's support Ice Cube that he's trying to do that endeavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the show. I would do another video more extensive about that population, but they know what's going on with their population, and that's why they are acting the way they're acting. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because every great people who've ruled the world had their time. All of them. And then once God says your time is up, another rise in its place. So they can't really stop the inevitable. It's like trying to stop a fast car about to hit something. You just can't stop it. You just got to just watch the wreck when it happens. But thank you guys for joining us this Sunday evening. See you next time.